Okay, what do we got here?
A couple of old telephones from my collection. I'm Dan, the telephone man.
Hi, Dan, the telephone man. Just out of curiosity, why telephones?
Because as a child, I stuttered so bad I couldn't talk to girls, but I could talk on the telephone perfectly.
That would make me really appreciate telephones, too.
I came down to the pawn shop today to try to sell some of my rarest telephones. They're all original and very rare examples of early communications. I'm one of the largest phone collectors in the world, and I am hoping to get $26,000 for the pair.
These are cool. Why don't you tell me about them?
This, I think, is one of the only ones known to exist in the world. So this one has a solid platinum disc buried inside the head of the telephone that would make it possible to move around the desk without it failing. So it became the first portable telephone.
Okay. And what makes this? This is a push button, you said? So
It's a dial, and this little thing here is so you could dial and squeeze as you dial and get the right number. So this is the way phones were in 1905.
So pre this phone right here is when you'd actually have to pick up and talk to an operator. They would connect you, right?
Yes.
What you have here is real interesting, man.
Telephones are a big deal to the way we talk to each other in this country. Before this, they were waiting on telegraphs. Before that, they were waiting on letters. You know, the whole world changes because of that kind of stuff.
Correct.
These direct dial phones are the first of their kind. And it's interesting to see just how far phones have come in over 100 years. Thank God I don't have to carry that thing around to call somebody.
So what are you looking to do with them?
I'm looking to sell them.
How much are you looking to get?
Well, this one's the rarest one. It's a museum item, so this one I want $18,000 for. This one is more common. I want $8,000 for.
$8,000, and I mean, okay, and I'm obviously way outmatched on knowledge of telephones. I'll tell you what, man, you mind if I have a friend of mine come down and take a look
I
at
don't
them?
mind at all.
All right?
Thank you.
Very good.
I think it's great that he's calling it a second opinion. I'm just going to try not to talk over the guy and be more excited than he is.
Oh, so these are what you called me about?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's a Stroger. The fellow who came up with the first functional dial telephone was an undertaker. And the reason he came up with this was people were not letting customers get to him because the telephone operators were sending the customers to somebody else. He said, I'm gonna fix that. And so he came up with this.
I think I used a rotary telephone maybe once in my life.
The idea of coming up with a dial telephone was a dream of the Bell Company, but it really took this one man, Anton Stroger. He was the one who figured out how to come up with the switching mechanism and then created the Automatic Electric Company, which made these phones where you could call direct. So what were your concerns about these?
This guy has a plethora of knowledge about telephones, and I don't know what he's saying is true or not true.
You mind if I take a look at them?
I don't mind at all.
Okay. That's all correct. And this one, again, may I?
Certainly.
Nice. This is beautiful. This is lovely. This is in very nice shape. I don't see anything here that's an issue from a collector's standpoint.
So these are desirable phones. They are, I guess, legitimate.
Yes, they are.
Mark, let me ask you this. You hang out with a lot of weird people in weird hats, you know.
I think your hat's pretty cool.
Oh, thank you. This is pretty good.
Is there a big market out there, people that are collecting these things, or?
I wouldn't say it's a large market, but it's a fanatical market. These are, really early classic ones. If you have a phone collector come into the shop, they'd be willing to pay for it because they are so rare.
Okay. Well, Mark, I appreciate you coming down.
Not a problem.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for bringing them in. It's great to see them.
It's good meeting you.
These two phones are actually quite rare, but the collector's market is very narrow. It's hard for somebody today to look at one of these and say, you want me to pay what?
All right, so let me get this straight. You want me to pay $27,000 for the phones?
No.
26?
Yes.
Okay. You know, Dan, $26,000 is just too rich for my blood. I guess I'll have to do some reading up on these because I can't go anywhere near that price.
Okay.
Anything I offered you at this point would be insulting.
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
It's nice
Take care.
meeting you.
Nice meeting you,
Thank you. I wasn't able to sell my telephones today. Well, it didn't make great decorations for the shop.
What in the world is that?
I got a dictaphone.
You got 2 dictaphones.
Yeah, they look really neat to me, and you can record stuff with them, so I thought it'd be a cool thing. Every time I mention them to my friends, they all giggle and laugh about it.
Yeah, just mention the word dictaphone and you're guaranteed to get a giggle out of all of your immature friends.
I came down to the pawn shop today to sell my dictaphones. My grandma used to be a secretary, and she handed it down to my father, and I cleaned out his shed, and he let me have it. It looks really old and like an antique, and I thought it might be worth some money. I want $100. The least I'm willing to take is $80.
This was the competition to Edison's version of this. More or less the same thing, a little bit different. When Edison invented the phonograph, it was such a big deal. I mean, people couldn't even comprehend the idea of recording sound. I mean, it just didn't exist. These were a really common thing in an office, like a law office and things like that. There's a thin diaphragm in there with a needle on it, and when you talk, it vibrates the diaphragm as this little thing's moving across the wax cylinder as the wax cylinder is revolving. It's the same as a record, it's just a cylinder. So you want to sell both of them? You want to...
Yeah, I'd like to sell both if I could.
Okay, and how much were you looking to get out of them?
I was thinking maybe I could get $100.
I think they're a great piece of history. I mean, they're a great thing to talk about, but there's actually a lot of them out there. For some reason, it was one of those things people threw in their garage and didn't want to throw the antique away. And there's not a really big collector's market for them. It's just a losing proposition no matter what for me. If you gave them to me, I would still lose money on them if I restored them.
I'll take 50 if you want to give me 50.
No, I mean, it's one of those things where it's not worth it to me. Thanks for coming by, though, man.
Okay, nice meeting you. Thank you. I'm not too disappointed. I'll just bring it back home, put it in the shed, and let the cobwebs grow back all over it.
Earlier, I got a call from a guy selling an old phone booth. The old man loves stuff like this, so I brought him along to check it out. So this is it.
Yeah. This is my 50s, 60s era phone booth.
It does look like it's out of a Superman movie.
Well, that's why I would throw the cape in with it.
Okay.
I called the guys down from the pawn shop to check out my vintage phone booth. I want to sell it because I'm going to be moving out of the house soon, and I just don't want to have to move it again. Back in '79, I paid about $1,500 for it, and I'd like to try and get $1,200 for it now.
This thing is definitely cool. These things have been around since, I believe, the 1930s. It was innovative, though. What they did was you dropped the coins in, because the operator was on the other line. She could hear which tone it was and knew what kind of change you were dropping in the phone.
At the time, it was top of the line.
In the early 1900s, the phone booth was the cell phone of the day. Nowadays, telephone booths are dying.
Nothing's been changed on it since I bought it. Of course, the light comes on and the fan comes on as you close the door. It's set up for the current phone system in that you just plug it into a modular jack. From what I can tell, if you look at the phone card here, the phone must have come out of Chicago somewhere.
I mean, it's really cool. The problem is, I believe it's 1970s. I mean,
Really?
Because they got the 411 and 611 on there. Because remember, it used to be 555-1212, and then they shortened it to 411.
You're right, I didn't realize that.
This phone booth is definitely cool, but it would take up a lot of real estate in the shop, so I gotta get it cheap so I can sell it quick. So what do you want to do with it?
Well, I'd like to sell it. I'd like to get $1,200 for it.
I mean, it's in pretty good shape. The problem is I'm trying to think of who's gonna buy it off me.
Yeah.
It's a very limited market.
I mean, the ones people really want are ones from the 1930s that are more Art Deco and things like that. I'll tell you what, I'll give you one offer and one offer only. $600. I mean, that's the most I can go.
600?
Yeah. And I'm gonna slap myself when I get home if you sell it to me.
No, I can't do that. I just can't go that low on the things.
And it takes up a lot of room in someone's house.
Yeah, I understand. And I just really feel that I want to try and get a little bit more than the 600, so.
Okay. Well, if you change your mind, give me a call.
I will. Thank you very much. I certainly respect his opinion. I just feel that I want to try and get a little bit more for it.
How you doing, man?
How are you guys doing? What we have here is old-fashioned cell phone.
What do you think it's from?
If the phone could talk, we might know, but unfortunately, it just listens. Came down to the pawn shop today to try to sell my vintage payphone. It's been in our family for several years. This thing weighs so much. We're just tired of carrying it around from house to house. I think it's worth about $350, $400.
So what do you know about it?
It was actually a payphone in service and modified for home use later.
The rotary dial definitely dates it. They stopped making these, I'd say maybe early 70s. Do you know what it's made out of?
It's chrome.
Looks pretty heavy because
It's very
It is
heavy.
heavy. You got to remember, this thing also had to be kind of a small safe, too. I mean, this thing would be on a street corner somewhere full of change, so they had to make them real sturdy and strong. I mean, you used to see them back on every corner, and now you just don't see them at all. It's something that makes me feel old, God. There's been payphones since the late 1800s, but these rotary dial ones haven't been around since the 1970s. And it probably won't be long before they're gone altogether. Cell phones have made them obsolete.
Does it still make phone calls?
Yeah, it does. It's actually been modified so the money goes all the way through, but you don't actually need the money to make the call. A nickel makes a single ding. A dime makes a double ding. And a quarter makes a bong.
You ever hear the term drop a dime?
Yeah.
It's all payphones used to take. It's cool that somebody already went through the trouble to convert this phone so it can be used at home. Saves me a lot of trouble. People will definitely buy these things, but they want to use them, not just keep them like a collector would. Do you want to pawn it or sell it?
I want to sell it.
And what are you looking to get out of it?
Around $250.
I'd give you like $100 for it, man. They're really not that uncommon. I mean, these things were probably still sitting around in the 1980s.
I know there's collectors who like old-fashioned stuff on the wall, and the fact that it's still functioning. 150?
I'll do like 125.
Maybe 140?
I'll do it, man. That's no problem.
Okay.
All right. Chum, you want to go write them up?
It is really heavy, and I didn't really want to carry it home again, so we made a deal.
How you doing this morning, son?
Good. I got this flagship Admiral phone I wanted to come show you.
They were called flag phones, and it's pretty cool.
Flag phone?
That's what they called it in the Navy.
So you actually did something in the Navy besides hustle young seamen out of their paycheck?
Came down to the pawn shop today to try and sell my flagship Admiral's phone. I'd like to sell this item because, to be honest, I just want the money. I'm gonna start out probably at $3,000 today, and I think anything over $500, $600 would be perfect.
Do you know anything about this, sir?
This would have been the phone that would have been on the flagship for the Admiral to use.
That's correct. Back then, the captain was in charge of his ship. When you got a group, a battleship, destroyers, and cruisers, they had an admiral in charge of the whole group. Dees was brought aboard with the admiral so that he could communicate with his crew, with the captain.
Okay.
Admirals is to the Navy what generals are to the Army. An admiral could be in charge of thousands of sailors. So a phone like this would be a good way to give orders.
The one thing that I found the most interesting, there's an actual spot to the atomic strike room.
All the Admiral had to do was pick this up and press this button and just say, nuke 'em?
Yeah, the admiral did what he had to do.
Okay. I love the design. I mean, it's definitely 1930s, 1940s design, and continued using it through the 1950s.
Yeah.
Since so many people have served in the Navy or have family members that have, there's a pretty healthy market for Navy memorabilia. And this thing is definitely easy to display, so it should be an easy sell. So what do you want to do with this thing?
Well, I'd like to sell it.
How much you want for it?
I was thinking $3,000.
You keep thinking. I'm gonna give you a shot. If you want it, fine. If you don't, fine. I'll give you $500 for it.
With your history in the Navy, though, this would be a good piece for you to have. I think you should step it up to $700.
Son, I'm 70 years old, and all I collect anymore is $100 bills.
Well, I'd like to start by collecting 6 of those on my own.
You'll get 5. That or you can lug it out of here. 500 is it, my friend.
Well, it is pretty heavy. I guess 500 to do it.
All right. Rick, go write it up.
I'll meet you right in front of it.
All right. They were certainly tough negotiators on this, and I was probably out of my league in that regard. But $500 richer than I was when I came in today.
I don't think it's gonna work, Richard. It looks like the cord's been chopped off.
Well, put a new wire on it. I'm an old-fashioned guy, and all this new technology bugs the hell out of me. So I'm taking matters in my own hands.
What are you having him do?
He's hooking up the Admiral's phone for me.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Okay, it's not gonna work, Dad.
Damn it, Trav. I don't care what you have to do. Make the damn thing work.
Dad, we bought it to resell it, not for you to keep it and play with it on your desk.
What kind of power trip are you on? You need an Admiral's phone on your desk?
Look, I'm the admiral of this damn pawn shop, and I'll do what I want. I want the damn phone fixed. Trav, make it work.
All right, I'll do my best.
Have fun, Travis.
Hello? The old man bought an old phone that he's been trying to hook up at his desk, so I thought I'd have a little fun with him. Oh, yeah? Phone's working, boss.
Give me the damn phone. Hello? Hello? Damn it, Chumley, you're
Gotcha.
Hey, how can I help you?
Yeah, I've got something I want to sell to you.
A Simon? The very first smartphone? Okay, look at that beautiful brick.
I'm here today to sell my 1994 IBM Simon cell phone. I bought a bunch of cell phones from this guy who used to have a cell phone store back in the 90s, and I'm looking to resell it. I really like the cell phone just because it is a piece of history. You know, I think it belongs in a museum. I'm hoping to get $2,500 for my cell phone. If I get $2,500 today, I'm going to make a big payment on my student loans.
That is pretty cool here. IBM Simon was IBM's sort of foray into this whole cell phone business. It was super, super high tech, really complicated to use, and a complete failure. I mean, but if you're a super nerd, you wanted one of these things because this really was an incredible phone. But it came out when small cell phones were coming out, you know, like the flip phones and everything like this. And it was a complete failure, just due to the fact that like everyone wanted small phones at the time. And I think they only made like 50,000 of them. 10 years after this came out, we had like the Blackberries, then we had the iPhones and everything we have today. Now our phones do stuff that we couldn't even imagine back then. Does it turn on?
It does.
Touch OK to continue. This thing had a pager function on it too. Can you take notes and stuff on this too?
Yeah, you can do little sketches and all sorts of cool stuff.
It's super cool. I mean, I'll give you that. So how much you want for this thing?
I'm hoping to get $2,500 since it's in the box. It's pretty much unused. You know, it's pretty hard to find it in this condition.
In the box, unused, pretty amazing. I'll give you $600.
Can't go that low.
What is your best price?
I can do $1,500.
I'll give you $1,000 for it. I think $1,000 is more than fair. I've seen them sell for $500. I've seen them sell for $5,000. It's just literally, I put it in an auction and I crossed my fingers. That's what happens with something like this.
You do $1,200, I'll go that.
All right, $1,100.
$1,200.
$1,100.
$1,150.
$1,100.
All right, $1,100.
All right, sweet. All right, we got a deal. I'll meet you right up front and we'll do some paperwork. I'll get you paid.
All right, thanks.
All right.
I didn't get my asking price, but you know, getting $1,100, I think is a fair price.